तू मेरा पिता, तू है मेरा माता, तू मेरा बंधप, तू मेरा भ्राता, तू मेरा राखा सबनी थाई तापोके हा काड़ा जियो तुमरी कृपा ते तुद पछाणा तू मेरी ओट तू है मेरा माणा तुझ बिन दूजा अवर न कोई सब तेरा खेल अखाड़ा जियो।
Welcome seekers to today's spiritual discourse titled Near Death Experience. I have with me East Asia's main speaker, who is an advanced spiritual practitioner and also a disciple of a perfect living master. So today we're going to talk about near death experience. I'm just going to share a video that I saw recently on YouTube. It's about this person undergoing a near-death experience on the operating theater. So as she was about to get operated on, she was actually suffering a lot of body pain in her. And at that point of time, she just was contemplating a lot on the body pain. And there was this point of time where she says that she just let go. And then when she let go, she saw the famous tunnel that all of us, listen to when people are talking about NDE or near-death experience. And in this tunnel, she mentioned that she saw white light, and she approached the light. And then she heard a voice, like a deep voice, that she felt that she has heard this voice before. And this voice is very calming in that white light. And in that moment, she felt a connection with the voice. And this voice is saying that, all will be okay. And in that moment, all her pain in her body just disappeared. I think she transcended her physical body, and she was in a state of knowing, instead of understanding what's going on. She just knew, and she just knew she was part of the light, and she was bathing in the light. And as she was bathing in the light, she felt the light actually curing her, from within. And she felt change almost immediately, and she felt a sense of peacefulness in that very existence, not in a physical body. And she was going through a tunnel where she felt that she had to go through. And as she ventured into this tunnel, and it's a dark tunnel that she mentioned, she reached on the other end, and she experienced more white light. And after which she didn't want to actually go back to her physical body, but then the same voice told her that it's not your time yet, you need to actually go back, right? And at that point of time, she just felt like a sensation where she's being absorbed back almost immediately into her physical body, and then all the pain returned. But at that point of time, something in her changed, and she understand why she had to feel those painful sensations in her physical body. And but more importantly, after waking up from the operating table, she felt that she sort of I think physically she was still healing from her physical traumas, but emotionally inside she felt a change in person, almost being like replaced. So just to cut the story short, she went through her healing process, and after which, when she recovered, she realized that she herself changed in her very nature. So instead of, she said she used to be very competitive in the workplace, she became more loving and don't fit into her workplace culture, as though that it's something very foreign to her. And now she feels that there's a higher purpose, and she wants to help and serve others. So with all this being said, this person, obviously, when I watched the video, I know that she's not talking about any perfect living masters, and she's not even initiate or even have the concept of initiation in her talks. But this serves to prove an example that an outer body experience actually changes you as a person. And I just want your opinion on this, whether the near-death experience, is it a real thing, or is it just created by the mind? And if it matters, that this change matters, if you are initiate or not. So yeah, I just need your opinion on this.
Mm. From what I heard, this story about this lady, I think her experience, her near-death experience, is very real because as the soul, right? When we have the experience of what soul is like, and the soul quality is love. When we remove our personal character, our mind, and our emotion out of this, then we experience the soul. And when this lady experienced her soul, then she described it's all peace, it's all love, it's all happy there. And that's what she experienced. And it's very good case to to see the people who doesn't actually really be on spiritual path, the path of the master. They have this experience, and this experience transform them because for the first time they have the direct experience that they're not this mind, they're not this emotion, and they're not this physical body, and we are all as the soul for a greater purpose, is to serve the creator, right? And yes, and put this story into the perspective. This story is very real and it's not created by the mind. And it's good, that she have this kind of experience, and bless her. This experience will definitely make her question about her human existence and make her question about the truth. And eventually, I truly believe that she will try to find her own perfect living master, the one who can give her true salvation, and the one can actually answer her all the questions that she have, and she will have a proper guideline to practice and deal with her direct near-death experience.
Hmm. Um, and then just on that part of near-death experience, there's also something called out-of-body experience. This is, some people can term it as astral projection. So
Mm.
is this two experiences the same thing?
Yes, for me, I think it's very much the same thing. It's, in the part of the master, we call this die while living. Mm. So any case circumstance, whether you have a out of body experience while you meditate, out of body experience while you have an accident. It's considered as the experience, to die while living. I will share one of the story of one sister that I know. She's also disciple of a perfect living master. So she said she experienced out of body experience or maybe near death experience even. Okay, she told me that that year she had a very sincere longing of finding the truth, of being one with the master, of not belonging in this world and want to go back to her true origin, true home. Because she started to practice a lot, like she would meditate really long time for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day. So she entered her own spiritual retreat mode. And then one day, she was lying on her bed and her heart stopped. She just stopped breathing and her heart stopped beating. So because she during that time she was doing a lot of meditation, so she can observe what is happening very clearly. She said all the sensation withdraw from her hand and her feet, and she start to feel cold. After that, the life force or the prana travel up to her heart chakra. She said she can even hear her heartbeat stop. And when the heartbeat stop, the prana, the life force withdraw to her head. And then she said, inside her head, in the middle of her head, there is a wisdom eye center. She can hear something snap. She said it's as if like a string pull, pull out of her body. I guess it's like a silver cord that link the soul with this physical body. She said she heard that snap. And when it snapped, then she entered to the classic tunnel, right? That you said. So she said she entered there. And then she met with a very tall being with made of light. And then two tiny like people on both sides. And um, they said to her that, oh, okay, we will read out your record, your good karma and your bad karma, and your spiritual merit. So she said she saw like a screen of light pop up and read out whatever she had done in her human life, whatever good action and bad action, bad decision that carry karma, bad intention, good intention, that make all the record for her. And then the last record that they read out were her spiritual merit. And they said to her, oh, you have very good merit, you have immense merit, and by this you will end up in very good place. And then suddenly, master, the perfect living master that give her initiation, just appear in that court, of karmic justice, and saying that no, this soul not going anywhere. This soul belong to me, and I'm responsible for this soul. Then the soul and the master travel, like fly. She said she fly with the master, travel to all the universe. She said all the universe just like quickly pass by, very fast. And then she said that, oh, for the first time she saw the creation very clearly, very vividly. more than in her meditation when she passed through those inner regions. And then there's a gate. They finally arrived to a gate. And Master say, when you pass to this gate, you won't come back at all. Do you have any final wish to make? And this sister saying that, no, Master, I don't want to go yet. I'm still not serving you properly. I just wish that I want to come back, serving Master, helping all of the people that have affinity with me to know the truth the way I know. And you had shown me this experience, so I have to go back to tell them. And Master said, okay, very well. Then it's not your time to go yet. Then she said the scene suddenly changed. She come back to her bedroom where the body lying. She can see her body lying there. So Master just put her in a form of a ball of light and put her soul on the head, enter from the crown chakra inside her physical body. Then after that, she wake up and she looked at the clock and she said, it has been 4 hours past since she had that near-death experience. So she just shared this with me. She said that actually, whatever we are doing, this spiritual part of finding the truth of our true origin of ourselves is very real. She said she questioned about this before, that this spiritual part might just like imagination, where there's a spiritual guru, a perfect living master there, put this idea of spirituality into our head. But she said, I have direct experience that the spiritual part is very real. And whatever Master promised to us, that they will take care of us, and we don't need to come back into the cycle of reincarnation ever again. It's very true. And Master is inside, traveling with us in the soul level, and they always take care of us inside and listen to whatever we want and whatever we need for the benefit of our soul. And she said to me that she's very grateful to have this kind of near-death experience or out-of-body experience to make her being very firm on this part, on this spiritual part, and take this very seriously. So I feel, the story like this, if you have direct experience, yes, it would transform your life greatly. Because all the time we feel like, oh, I'm just human. I'm just go through my karmic life. There's nothing beyond this physical creation. But little that we know that when we go inside, there's different creation open up to us, one level after the other. And by Master Grace, we have the means to have a full access inside and full protection when we transcend, when we traverse this region and go back to our true home. And their promise is real and it's carry on. Whether, if this physical creation will be destroyed, if you previously study and sincerely practice on your spiritual path, then nothing go to waste, and that's gonna be what's saving you from coming back over and over again in this play of drama, in this play of suffering. You actually, the holy initiation from perfect living master is very real. It's actually what saved you during the judgment karmic court. It's what saved you from coming back over and over to join this drama. So yes, so I'm just be very impressed by this story. But I would tell all of you, you don't need to experience this firsthand, right? Because it's very rare, for anyone to have this experience. But you can learn by other people experience that whatever you do, just sincerely doing that. Because there's many proof out there that when you serious and sincere on the spiritual part, you want to find the truth, then you get it inside. It's the guarantee for you to go back to our own origin, to the origin of our soul, our true self, our real identity. And Master is here, helping us to find out the truth inside. It gives us all the guidelines that we need to know how to go back to our true home and not come back to entrap ourselves again in this karmic creation.
Right. So based on the story, would you say that near-death experience is also partly a spiritual experience? Because this person, when she saw the white light, she also say that she experienced the voice telling her. So who is this voice? And is this voice, I don't know, her higher self, or one of the ascended masters, or yeah, who's this voice? And is this part of
Yeah.
her spiritual experience?
Because as the special soul, as the true seeker soul, when we born here, we already have inner master inside us. But this inner master might not actively um, having conversation or communication with you inside, but they are there. Who is this being, right, that talking to her? It might be her inner master. It might be her higher self. It might be her true identity. Because when we going inside and we meet with our spiritual guide, they're part of the same being that is from God. But we have to observe, who this being is and what is their quality. If their quality is from love, peace, happiness, kindness, and mercy, we can assume that this entity, this being, is very high authority because they operate from the soul level. Like me too, when I was very young, I have experienced many times talking with the mysterious being in my sleep, in my dream, and even sometimes in my daily life when my mind is calming down into peaceful mode. So I would hear a mysterious being show me the higher knowledge of this whole creation. And I was thinking as a young child that, oh, this must be my imaginary friend that I talk to him or her all the time, but he or she is always there whenever I need him or her or calling upon. So I feel that, to be on this spiritual path, this is not new. It might be carry on for many, many lifetimes that we get initiation, we mess up, we cannot make it, we come back to reincarnate into this human world again, to complete our journey, to complete our journey back home, to find our true identity, because this progress can rapidly doing this only in the human form. So I have the feeling that perfect living master already been there since the day I born and continue to be here. But today is better because they also come in a form of a person that I can have physical conversation with. And they also represent that imaginary friends with a lot of knowledge and wisdom that they show me since my childhood. So I feel I have been blessed to be in this position to recognize the higher beings that that from time to time come here in this karmic creation to give salvation to all the truth seekers.
Right. And then just on the topic of the NDE experience, can one get this experience at will, or by practice, or does this NDE just happens? I think the reason for this question is because, yeah, I mean, you get to experience, the white light or even higher realms of existence only through certain, I would say, traumatic circumstances in your life. For example, if you, I don't know, like meet with a close death, close shave, like an accident, for example, and then for that split 2-3 minutes you transcended to beyond your physical body. But in order for you to get that experience itself, thus how can you how should I say, conjure these kind of experiences at will? Is there a way?
Mm. No, it won't happen at will. Yet this experience is just the part of the drama that character has to go through. But it's not necessary that everybody will have this, right? Have this near-death experience. But we can have out of body experience during meditation because it's less dramatic, right? You don't it's not everybody has to go through immense pain and suffering on the operating table to find the truth, right? Master teach us the better way to find out the truth for ourselves and have out of the body experience by being the observer in our meditation. And the higher form of meditation that Master teach, it's, they're giving teaching of soul to soul connection or Surat Chapat Yoga. So by practicing this Surat Chapat Yoga, we actually can step out of our physical character, our senses and our mind character to see the first time from the soul level to become the complete observer of our own character. So I feel, you don't need to strive to have all this dramatic near-death experience. You can actually enjoy out of body experience by being the observer, being the observer mode of your own character to learn the truth. I guarantee you, if you invest the time to contemplate on the higher truth, the truth need to reveal itself to you, whether in physical form, like a perfect being as a perfect living master come into your life and say this higher truth in your language, in human language that you can understand. And this perfect being can actually show you too. If you have chance to sit and meditate with them, they can show you the whole creation, that you want to know. So yes, I would say, don't seek for this near-death experience, but seek for the truth.
Right. There are some people that have asked me this question, and what's I just wanted to ask you, like out of body experience, which is quite close to near death experience. What's your take on using stimulants or drugs like ayahuasca, for example, to get an experience of outer body, as in I would say astral experiences. Is this a correct method uh, to attain your spiritual goal, or is this something that is just temporary fix?
Mm. Yeah, I understand that in some tradition, they don't have a perfect spiritual guide. So they have like a lower level of spiritual guide come to tell them, oh, you can use this drug, you can use this magic mushroom, you can use this plant, to have astral projection, can have out of body experience, to explore, or for the first time having the out of body experience by using this drug. For me, right, I feel this is not the right approach because these mind altering drugs, they leave a bad trace in our physical body, and it changes some of the chemical in our physical brain. And these can actually long term cause the damage in our brain and cause hallucination. So I feel the safest way is to withdraw your attention. Have a proper spiritual guide, the one that can guide you properly and provide protection inside when you go within and explore the inner region. And it's this out of body experience, it can be easily experienced if we withdraw our attention correctly from this physical body without using any drugs. So I would say, no, don't go for the drug. You seek a proper guidance in meditation, and after that, you go within to explore for yourself what it's like to have out of body experience, what it's like to have astral projection, and what it's like to, for the first time, recognize yourself as the soul.
That's it for today's satsang. Thank you, main speaker, for spending time with us for this satsang. If you want more information about ISTA Asia, please go to www.istaasia.com. You can also subscribe to our newsletter and email us any inquiries you may have regarding spirituality. You can also send your questions to seek.istaasia.com. Thank you for listening.